The charges against Julian Assange in the United States are a joke. The charges are only for a nebulous conspiracy with Chelsea Manning to hack a government password. The evidence from chat logs, where neither party's identity can be forensically verified, leaves a huge opportunity for reasonable doubt, and in light of Vault 7's disclosure of how the CIA has the ability to fake cyber fingerprints, is a defense attorney's wet dream to not only get his client acquitted, but to turn the case into a malicious prosecution tort against the government agents personally. The charges against him in the UK are also laughable, since it is primarily predicated on bail jumping for a bullshit sex abuse case which was dropped by the court 2 years ago. From all appearances, both these cases can be won by a jailhouse law clerk with only the use of the Jailhouse Lawyer's Manual. The arrest of Assange has sparked numerous protests and cyber attacks on the websites of the governments seen to be complicit in the 7-year persecution of this Patriot journalist who has exposed not only corruption, but war crimes for which nobody has been prosecuted. The cabal can only expect more of the same, and in spades, as digital attacks will only escalate as the atrocities and rights violations continue. The following is from LibertyWhip.com. The headline reads, Assange's arrest causes chaos, leaves Ecuadorian government with massive cyber attack over protest. From the Gateway Pundit, over 30 websites belonging to the Ecuadorian government are now offline, some of them defaced in protest of the arrest of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. The hackers are calling their efforts #OpEcuador and are also promoting #OpUS and #OpUK. The United States and the United Kingdom have not yet been hit with any cyber attacks that we know of. Jacob Riggs tweets, just been informed the Central Bank of Ecuador, Ministry of Interior, Ecuador Assembly in UK, and the government of Ecuador were hit offline last night in response to the arrest of Assange. Haven't seen this covered yet, so I'll be monitoring uptime for developments. And here's the picture with Julian Assange winking and his thumbs up, seeming like everything is okay. Looks like hacktivists have dropped an Ecuadorian naval database too. 2 days after the Thursday arrest of Julian Assange at Ecuador's London embassy, several government websites were hacked, including Ecuador's official website, the Central Bank of Ecuador, the Ministry of the Interior, and the Ecuadorian Assembly in the UK, according to Gateway pundits Cassandra Fairbanks, who was in London last week and documented the run-up to Assange's arrest. Hello, this is Dave from Net4 Truth USA, Whirlwind Revolt. It is Sunday, April 14th, 2019, and we have so much information coming out about Julian Assange and his arrest. And we are in the middle of this whirlwind of information that we don't know what to make of. But I am of the opinion that this is a operation by the White Hats to get Julian Assange here back to the United States under the pretense of being prosecuted for this bogus crime of trying to hack a government password that they can't even prove who was in the chat rooms because they used anonymous names. And once he's here, he can be pardoned by President Trump and allowed to testify as to where his information came from. He can give up a source who is supposed to be deceased, and namely that source being Seth Rich. There was speculation about Julian Assange being carried out of the embassy by the British police, and therefore his feet never touched the ground, and some ridiculous thing put forth that he wasn't really on UK soil because his feet didn't touch the ground. Well, I tell you what, whether your feet touch the ground or not, you're still in UK airspace, the same as if you were flying a fighter jet over in UK airspace without permission, and they will shoot you down. So once he left the embassy, once you get out of a car that's a diplomatic vehicle, you are in the jurisdiction of wherever you happen to be. And there's no provision in the law, there's no requirement in the law that says your feet have to be touching the ground. So those speculations are absolutely ludicrous on their face. Now, if you recall, several months ago, on my previous channel, and you can still find it here on their tube, that Julian Assange was supposed to have been moved out of the Ecuadorian embassy, and you see people carrying out a couch, and then somebody running behind the couch and into the moving van. And that was alleged to be Julian Assange. And since then, we've seen Julian Assange grow a beard like the Smith brothers, cough drops. And why he would do that, I don't know. Except maybe for the fact that who they carried out of the embassy last Thursday was, in fact, not Julian Assange, but somebody who looked like him and grew the beard in order to be not recognizable. That's a possibility as well. The UK does not want Julian Assange here in the United States. Australia does not want Julian Assange here in the United States. This could be an operation of the deep state to take the focus off the imminent FISA D-class. And we have a feeling, we have information, that the FISA D-class will out the British Crown and Australia, among others, as not being the friends we thought they were, primarily because of the Five Eyes business, where information and intelligence are shared from their domain to ours, because we, as a country, the intelligence agencies in this country are not permitted to spy on our citizens, but the UK and Australia can, and the UK and Australia, by sharing information with our intelligence agencies, are a runaround of the law. And I think that's a big part of what the FISA D-class is going to reveal. And it's going to put a lot of people in jeopardy. Make no mistake about this, folks. What has happened over the last 3 years is interference in U.S. elections by none other than the oven mitt fashionista and the entire Democratic Party, the FBI, the CIA, and all these other government alphabet group that have been running this country for a very long time. This exposure will wake up a lot of people. This exposure will come this close to starting an all-out revolution in this country again. The arrest of Julian Assange is nothing but an attack on journalism. It appears to be. But it is not an attack on anything that happened with the WikiLeaks of the Podesta emails. It is only in this country related to his alleged and, in my opinion, unprovable conspiracy with Chelsea Manning that is not even, it doesn't even meet the criteria of probable cause because of how this information was allegedly shared. But I believe that that will come out as well. My hope and my prayers are that Julian Assange, Seth Rich, and JFK Jr. will all show up alive one day, and the deep state will be found hanging from doorknobs. And if I was a betting man, I would buy stock in doorknobs and pashmina scarves, because a lot of people are going to run into that brick wall of, hey, there's no more bullshit to be had. There's no more bullshit that they can pile upon pile. Pretty soon the pile gets so big that it's unsustainable. And the mainstream media will be shown to be complicit in all of these crimes in a knowing, willing attempt to cover everything up from the JFK assassination till present day. It's all been smoke, mirrors, Hollywood, and bullshit. And the American people have been lied to long enough. That's why the mainstream media, after this Russia collusion thing just fell through the floor, are turning off mainstream media and coming on to alternative media for their source of news. And we're being attacked now because we are the news. We don't have the resources of the mainstream media. We don't have a staff to go out and fact check stuff. So what we're doing is we just take all the information, we try to pick the fly shit out of pepper and try to fit the puzzle pieces together in a rational, logical thing that makes sense. We're forensic analysts. We're forensic bullshit analysts. And I'm telling you that this appears to be a white hat operation to get Julian Assange out of the UK embassy where he is vulnerable. Because if the UK is so deeply involved in all of this cover-up and all of this nefarious crap that's been going on in this country for a long, long time, they'll find a way to get to him if they know where he is. But I assume, I project, and I opine that Julian Assange has some dead man switches in place. And this is not only my opinion. Check this out. Yeah, what's up?
Real fast, man. You know what?
What?
I think they dumped the dead man switch.
Oh, yeah? What makes you say that?
People are chattering that there could possibly be a dead man switch for him if he's arrested.
Wow. Well, he wouldn't be stupid.
We already knew that was going to happen. I did. I knew that. I told you 2 years ago.
Well, I would think that he was smart enough to put that in place before that happened.
Well, there's one in place. I hope people don't push it too fast, because if they do, they're going to bury him. They are going to be the reason he gets buried.
No.
I'm documents are signed, WikiLeaks, every one of them. The whole dead man file.
Wow. That ain't put the key out yet.
Not yet, I don't think. But people are starting to trend on it, and I'm going to tell you one that's trending on it, James Wonder.
Oh, yeah? Really?
He really lost it lately, but it's pretty damn accurate to what's happening. If they drop this switch, he's fucked. It's everything.
Wow. I wonder if we got that recording that we're after. Now, this is a letter that I'm writing to the President. It reads, Dear Mr. President, I am one of thousands of citizen journalists who have been tirelessly supporting you since you ran for president, and I believe you would agree that if it wasn't for the support you had from social media, that the 2016 election, left to the devices of the fake news mainstream media, the rigged election would have been won by the ultimate fashionista, and the world right now would be in the throes of nuclear war with North Korea and possibly China and Russia. My former YouTube channels, Coffee with Dave, later changed to Covfefe with Dave, Net for Truth USA, and USA Net for Truth, were summarily deleted in their entirety by YouTube because I dared to speak the truth. The latest takedown was done moments after I tried to upload a critique of the banned New Zealand mosque video, which is entirely fake. After the video was rejected, I received an email saying it had insufficient context and or misleading or missing metadata. I was welcome to fix what they said was wrong, which is nowhere mentioned in their terms of service, and the email explicitly stated that the upload did not generate a strike, and I was to try to upload it again. I have screen video of the entire process live as it happened. On my second attempt to upload this video, my entire channel, with over 350 videos, suddenly disappeared without notice and without explanation. Also, during this time the channel was active, it generated $4,700 in ad revenue, which I have not received. This was predicated on 35,000 subscribers they told me I had, when in reality I had over 134,000 subscribers to which ads were shown that I was not getting paid for. I learned this from an anonymous inside source who sent me a screenshot of YouTube's Social Blade statistics. This fraud on a massive scale, targeted to conservative channels, and should, in my opinion, be prosecuted under the RICO Act. It is also a First Amendment violation because all of social media was initially funded by DARPA, LifeLog, and others, and are in effect agents of the government. They will do what the government says they will do at the risk of losing some of those lucrative government contracts. Their defense against tort claims for violation of First Amendment rights is therefore moot, and they not only violate the content creator's right to have a voice in the digital public square, which operates over taxpayer-funded bandwidth, but violates all of our subscribers' rights to listen to what we have to say. The class action lawsuit that is begging for a lawyer with the chutzpah to take it on would put the platform into the hands and into the joint ownership of those whose work and content made it possible. I have emailed Devin Nunes on this issue, but as of this date have not received a response. I am going to CC him a copy of this letter as well. I sincerely hope you can solve this problem with censorship in time for the 2020 election, else I'm afraid the mockingbirds will go back to brainwashing the American people once again. On another matter, the issue with the arrest of Julian Assange is an outrage, if it wasn't a play on your part to get him here safely so he could offer testimony. I and millions of your supporters are watching this issue closely. People are angry and are tired of the lies. We have no need of further endless investigations. People want to see perp walks, and we want to see webcams in the cells of traitors that they can punch up on their computers to watch as justice takes its toll on the criminals who have been running this country for the last 100 years. My good friend Stony and I are working on a talk radio program based out of which has 3 million listeners. I was contacted by owner of the station. We would like to invite you as a guest on the program as soon as we get it up and any bugs worked out. We would be deeply honored, and the trolls would be absolutely go nuts. Sincerely, God bless you and Godspeed. Make America great again. The following bit of information is not generally known. I include it here because you will see why it is imperative to the deep state that endless distractions are put forth by the mockingbird mainstream media.
Who's the author of this critical Wall Street Journal piece? Glenn Simpson and Mary Jacoby, his wife. Glenn Simpson, the purveyor of Fusion GPS. The article is called, How Lobbyists Help Ex-Soviets Woo Washington. Folks, I dare you to take a moment and read that piece. Put it next to the dossier. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same story. It was written 11 years ago. Glenn Simpson clearly had this information about Russian influence in Washington. He wrote 10 years ago. Read the names in the article. You know who appears in this article? Paul Manafort, all of these players. So what likely happened after Plan A collapses is They say, listen, let's go to the FISA court and do this legally, but we need evidence. We don't have evidence. Don't worry. Hillary Clinton's got a guy at Fusion GPS, says he's got a story to tell. Ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Simpson took his Wall Street Journal piece like it was a movie script, scratched out the names, put Donald Trump's name in there and said, look, do I got a story for you guys? It's all BS. The whole dossier is crap. Read the article. It's a movie script they recycled. It's a fairy tale. It's an Aesop's fable. It's made up. It's a scam. There is not a scintilla of evidence that it's true. Plan B falls apart because something happens in November. Donald Trump wins. Nobody, I'm telling you, take it to the bank, cash this check, and spend the money. Nobody saw that coming. No one. Everybody thought Hillary Clinton was going to get in. This was all going to go away. They were going to appoint their own attorney general, probably John Brennan, and this story is never, ever to see the light of day, not in their lifetimes. But make no mistake, they know what they did. They all know what they did. Every single one of them.
Please subscribe to our backup channels, Whirlwind Revolt, Inglorious Patriots, and Net4Truth USA 2 Patriot channel. You can also find us at Net4Truth USA on BitChute. We fly so close to the target, we're on our 4th fighter jet. We will be relentless truth seekers until the enemies of freedom are defeated. You can support this channel by using the links in the description, but for a $100 donation, I will personally send you a autographed hardcover special edition copy of Land of Childhood's Fears. Also, visit my bookstore at lulu.com/Net4Truth USA. If you are viewing this video on BitChute, you can use the links in the description to support us, or simply click the green $ dot on our video to support this channel. Thank you. Links are in the description section.